But we know that we're on, obviously, higher alert here in the United States. But politically, the one clear advantage has been coming for Donald Trump. He has been the biggest beneficiary, if you want to put it that way, in polls that he was pressing on the threat of ISIS and those who sneak over borders, period. But what's interesting is what's happening on the Democratic side, because Hillary Clinton is losing to the 6 top Republicans as we speak. Whether foreign policy is what's doing it is anyone's guess, but I'm guessing that pollster Frank Luntz has some ideas. He joins us right now. Frank, what is hurting her here?
Well, I just want to make one comment about Trump, because you raised it, and it is overt, and some would say excessive language that's actually appealing to Republican voters. When he said that we ought to bomb the X, I don't want to get fired here, we ought to bomb the X out of ISIS, you had Republicans all across the country standing up and applauding. And that may not be appropriate language in diplomacy, but it is exactly what Republicans wanted to hear. And on the Democratic side, when Hillary Clinton spoke last year about having to empathize or learn how to empathize with our opponents, you can't find a single American who wants to empathize with ISIS. They want to eliminate the threat. And so her language isn't calibrated to where the country is right now. It may have worked 12 or 18 months ago, but today the American public is saying you've got to do something. You've got to be tough. You've got to be determined. And her language and her policies don't seem strong enough. And I think that's one of the reasons why you see independent voters over the last few weeks moving away from her towards the Republicans.
I find this movement to Marco Rubio, though, particularly intriguing, because it's as if in the last few weeks there's been a shift in the political sands. What's going on there?
Well, one of the reasons is his debate performance, and he's got the most details of any of the candidates running right now, with maybe Chris Christie a close second. What Rubio is doing is that he's not only describing a policy, but he's actually describing a plan. He's being much more specific and much more pointed. And he's doing so in a way that makes voters reassured, that says to them that he understands the issues, he understands the implications. And it's amazing, because here he is, a United States Senator only for 5 years, right, and yet his strongest point is actually foreign policy.
You know, smart guys like you've always reminded me, it is, by and large, about the economy. How it's doing will decide ultimately how folks go about voting. But could this be a case where the concerns are paramount about terror? Because out of nowhere, ISIS has emerged as a premier concern. Paris is obviously a big reason. But if it's a constant reminder and a constant threat, then that changes, doesn't it?
Well, I'll put it in perspective. For Democrats, it's all about income inequality. For independents, it's about the economy and jobs in general. And for Republicans already, even before the ISIS attack, national security was their #1 issue, and it has only grown. I promise you this, Neil, no Republican nominee is going to be successful, will be able to capture that nomination without having a specific foreign policy, national security agenda, a specific plan. Because over the next few weeks, I expect national security to get a 10-point advantage over economic security in terms of what voters want to hear about.
Wow, 10-point advantage.
It's significant.
Yeah, I put it mildly. You know, Frank, it's just me, but you might have a future at this political analysis. You should stick with it. Seems very promising.
Well, you know, 79% of all statistics are made up on the spot, so I figure maybe I do have a future in this.
Frank, thank you very, very much. Frank Luntz.